Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're taking a close look at Mitolyn.
Right. That's the supplement making some, well, pretty interesting claims about metabolism and, fat burning.
Exactly. And we've gone straight to the source, their official website. We've looked at the product info, customer reviews, the science they claim supports it.
Including the ingredients, the studies they actually reference. Yeah.
So our mission really is to unpack all that,
Yeah.
to understand what the information they provide suggests about Mitolyn's potential effects, on metabolism and weight.
Yeah, absolutely. And for anyone listening who's curious about maybe feeling more energetic or managing weight, getting a handle on the science behind these products is, well, it's key.
We want this deep dive to give you a clearer picture of what's actually being presented. Okay, so the Mitolyn site kicks things off, talking about mitochondria.
Ah, yes, the little engines.
That's what they call them, inside our cells burning fat for energy. Sounds pretty fundamental, right?
It does. Basic biology, really. But then they make this connection.
Yeah, this is where it gets interesting. They say Harvard scientists found a link. Low mitochondria levels connected to being overweight.
That's the claim. A direct link between these cellular bits and your body weight, suggesting the number of these energy producers is a big factor.
It's a pretty compelling hook to start with.
Definitely.
And then, building on that, they claim Mitolyn has this special mix. 6 exotic nutrients and plants.
Right, a proprietary blend designed specifically to support healthy mitochondria levels.
The implication being you support the engines, you rev up the metabolism, maybe burn more fat.
It's a common strategy in supplements targeting a specific mechanism with a blend. What we need to do now is look at the proof they offer.
For both the Harvard discovery and how these specific ingredients are meant to work.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's dig into that Harvard discovery first. The website says researchers used advanced microscopic techniques.
On 1,700 people, they claim.
And the big finding they emphasize. Low mitochondria in overweight folks, high levels in people who are slim, toned, even had younger-looking skin.
It's presented as a very clear-cut correlation, almost black and white.
Yeah, and they explain mitochondria make ATP, that's the cell's energy currency, from food and stored fat.
So the logic follows. More mitochondria, more energy factories means theoretically you're better at burning fuel.
And they don't just say this. They list 4 scientific studies as evidence.
Okay, let's hear them.
First one from 2016. Leukocyte mitochondrial DNA copy number, anthropometric indices, and weight change in U.S. women. There's a PubMed link provided.
Okay, leukocytes, white blood cells. Interesting specificity there.
Second, impaired mitochondrial biogenesis in adipose tissue in acquired obesity from 2015.
Adipose tissue, fat tissue, another specific focus. Biogenesis means the creation of new mitochondria.
Third, persistent low body weight in humans is associated with higher mitochondrial activity in white adipose tissue, published 2019.
Activity, not just number. And again, white adipose tissue.
And the last one, mitochondrial DNA copy number in peripheral blood is independently associated with visceral fat accumulation in healthy young adults, from 2014.
Visceral fat, the deeper belly fat. So these are published studies definitely exploring links between mitochondria and weight metrics.
Right.
But it's important, like you pointed out, the titles themselves show a focus on specific cell types or tissues, leukocytes, adipose tissue, or specific metrics like DNA copy number or activity.
Not quite the simple universal rule the website kind of implies for all 1,700 people.
Exactly. Scientific studies often uncover complex associations, not always straightforward, cause and effect. That applies to absolutely everyone.
That's a really good point. The website definitely frames these as like the solid foundation for their new scientific discovery.
Marketing versus the nuance of research.
Okay, let's switch gears then. What about the ingredients? Mitolyn's unique blend of 6 exotic nutrients and plants.
They claim it's unlike anything you've ever tried.
Yeah, and one of the only products in the world with this specific mix, all aiming to boost those mitochondria.
That kind of exclusivity claim is pretty standard marketing, isn't it?
It is.
So let's look at each ingredient and the references they provide. See what the support actually looks like.
First up, maki berry. Purple fruit, lots of anthocyanin. They say it promotes mitochondria, also supports heart health, cholesterol.
Okay, and they cite studies.
Yep, Cremoni et al. From 2024 and Solverson from 2020. They give the DOIs, the digital identifiers.
Okay, anthocyanins are antioxidants, and antioxidants generally might help protect cells. Some research does explore their role in metabolic health.
So the studies might show how MACHI could interact with cell processes.
Potentially, yeah. We'd need to see if those studies show a direct increase in mitochondria or activity in people, not just, in a test tube.
Makes sense.
Huh.
Next ingredient, rhodiola, an adaptogen, over 140 polyphenols.
Also claimed to promote mitochondria.
Right, plus reduce stress, improve mood, support brain health. They cite Mao et al., 2019, Abadoff et al., 2003, again with DOIs.
Rhodiola is well known as an adaptogen, helping the body handle stress. There is research on its effects on energy metabolism.
So these studies likely add to that.
Probably looking at the potential pathways, possibly involving mitochondria. But again, the dose and the specific extract used in the study versus the product is key.
Good point. Okay, number 3, Haematococcus, red algae, source of astaxanthin.
Can the claim?
Promotes mitochondria, supports joints, immune response. References are Nishida et al., 2020, and Nishida et al., 2021.
Astaxanthin, another powerful antioxidant, lots of ongoing research there.
So these Nishida studies might show how it affects mitochondrial health, maybe reducing stress within the mitochondria.
Or maybe supporting their creation, that biogenesis process we mentioned. That's plausible, but needs verification in the studies.
4th ingredient, amla fruit, rich in flavonoids, antioxidants.
Let me guess, promotes mitochondria.
You got it. And supports digestion and vision. References Yamamoto et al., 2016, and Nathisen, 2017.
Amla's got a long history in traditional medicine. Science is exploring its properties.
So these studies probably look at how its compounds might affect energy production.
Could be antioxidant effects, could be other activities influencing mitochondria. We'd have to check the papers.
5th, Theobroma cacao, source of epicatechin, a flavonoid.
And it promotes mitochondria.
Yep. Also supports healthy blood pressure, and they throw in natural aphrodisiac.
Okay. Epicatechin from cocoa has been studied for heart and metabolic benefits. Research suggests it might influence mitochondrial function.
Studies cited are Taub et al., 2012, and Dalcin et al., 2021.
Right, so those would give the details on the potential mechanisms.
Finally, number 6, Schizandra. Red berries, antioxidant compounds.
Promotes mitochondria.
Bingo, plus supports liver health and skin elasticity. References: Kim and Yees in 2018, and Kopustin-Skeen and Bernatonian 2021.
Another adaptogenic plant. Research is looking into its antioxidant and metabolic effects, which, could include influencing mitochondria.
So it's interesting, right? Every single one they lead with promotes mitochondria.
They're really hammering that connection. It's the core of their story. And look, while research might suggest potential benefits for these individual ingredients, the big question is,
does the combination in Mitolyn, at the doses they use, actually do anything significant for mitochondria and weight in humans?
Exactly. Has this specific blend been studied? The effect of a blend isn't always just the sum of its parts.
True. Okay, let's touch on the practical stuff. They say Mitolyn is natural, plant-based, non-GMO, easy to swallow.
All the buzzwords people look for, especially non-GMO and plant-based.
And importantly, no stimulants, not habit-forming.
That's a big draw for weight management supplements. People often want to avoid feeling jittery or getting hooked on something.
Now, buying it, single bottle, 30-day supply is $79.
Pricey for a month's supply.
Yeah, but then they push the bigger packages. 6 bottles is $294. That's their most popular deal. Includes 2 free bonuses and free U.S. shipping.
The bulk discount strategy.
They also have 3 bottles for $177, also with the bonuses. And they even say 96% of customers order 6 bottles.
That's classic social proof marketing. Makes you think, oh, everyone else is getting the big one.
Definitely nudges you that way. They also have a 90-day money-back guarantee. 100%.
That sounds pretty solid.
Yeah, they say if you're not astonished by the fat loss or happy with your new body, send back the bottles, even empty ones, for a full refund.
That does reduce the perceived risk for the buyer. Suggests the company stands behind it to some degree.
But, as you said, a guarantee isn't proof it works.
Correct. It's a refund policy, not clinical evidence.
Those free bonuses with the 3 or 6 bottle deals, one is a 1-day Kickstart detox, 20 recipes for 15-second detox teas.
Detox teas are popular, but the science for long-term benefit in healthy people is often, debated.
The other bonus is Renew You. Focuses on stress relief, calm mind, confidence, reducing anxiety.
That makes sense. Adding value by addressing related wellness aspects. Stress and mindset are often linked to weight management.
Good point. Lastly, product details. Proudly manufactured in the USA.
Using domestic and foreign ingredients.
In an FDA-registered and GMP-certified facility.
Okay, so that speaks to following certain manufacturing quality standards, which is good.
But FDA registration doesn't mean the FDA approves the claims, right?
Exactly right. It's about the facility standards, not product efficacy approval.
Got it. Now, what about the people who've used it, the testimonials?
The success stories.
They feature 3. Peggy B. from Michigan lost 35 pounds, bought 6 bottles, feels better about her appearance.
Okay.
Russell L. from Georgia lost 29 pounds, bought 3 bottles, less belly fat, more energy.
Mm-hmm.
And Connie A. from New Jersey lost 40 pounds, bought 6 bottles, more energy for her kids.
So positive personal accounts, they can be very persuasive, but they're anecdotes, individual experiences, not controlled scientific data. Results vary hugely based on diet, exercise, genetics, everything.
Absolutely crucial to remember. Okay, last bit, the FAQs. Key question. Is Mitolyn right for me?
And that answer.
Yes, especially if you have stubborn fat diet and exercise haven't shifted. Suitable for 18 to 80, designed for rapid fat loss.
Targeting that frustration point. But suitable for everyone claims always need caution. Health conditions, medications.
Right. Always best to check with a doctor, which they do advise later.
That's good.
They address safety, mentioning the natural formula, U.S. manufacturing, third-party testing, and yeah, they say consult your doctor.
Standard reassurances. The natural doesn't automatically mean zero risk or no interactions, though. So the doctor advice is key.
They also cover how many bottles to order. Recommend 3 to 6 months.
Especially if you're over 35 or have more weight. Give it time to work.
Which, conveniently, lines up with the bonus packages.
Of course. It encourages the larger purchase and sets expectations for longer use. But sustainable management usually needs lifestyle changes too, right? Not just a pill.
Definitely. They say take 1 capsule daily with water. Works even while you sleep, apparently.
Easy to use. The works while you sleep plays into that desire for effortless results.
And they confirm it's a one-time payment, no auto-ship surprises.
Transparency on billing is good. Avoids hidden charges, complaints.
And finally, they just reiterate that 90-day money-back guarantee if it doesn't work for you, even empty bottles.
Reinforcing that safety net feel.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. We've looked at Mitolyn's whole pitch, the Harvard discovery idea.
Linking low mitochondria to being overweight.
The specific blends of 6 ingredients claim to boost mitochondria and burn fat.
The personal stories in the testimonials.
And all the guarantees and product details they offer.
And we've noted that while they provide scientific references, you really need to dig into those studies yourself to see if they fully support the broad claims being made.
Exactly. The core marketing message is all about enhancing mitochondria to speed up metabolism. It's a story that weaves together science-y concepts and personal success.
It does. And that brings us to a final thought for you, the listener. Mitochondria are undeniably vital for energy. The Mitolyn website gets you thinking about their role in your own health.
And they do give you those study references.
Right. So this could actually be a great starting point for you. Maybe take a look at those specific studies they cite. Explore the wider scientific literature on mitochondrial function, metabolism, weight.
See what the research really says.
Exactly. Look beyond the marketing claims, dig into the sources they provide, and form your own informed view on the information Mitolyn presents.